This is your host, Sister Antronas, welcoming you to another lovely day. This is your program, A Lovely Day. Yes, it is indeed a lovely day, for it is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. The topic that I'm going to share with you today, you will love it. The title is How Do You Know If Your Spouse is in Love with You? If you were asked, is your spouse in love with you? What would you say? Or better yet, how would you find out? Most people use two common techniques to determine whether or not their spouse is in love with them. It looks so simple, but you know, sometimes it's not a foolproof way. Number one, ask. The straightforward approach is typically what most people use. You will hear them say, "Do you love me, sweetheart?" One would ask the other. The answer is always like this, either, "Why? Of course I do, honey," or "What do you think?" Isn't it? And if there is sincerity in the delivery, the questioning would stop right there. However, if there was something insincere about the answer, the following technique would be used. Number two, observe. Does the action of your spouse support the idea that they are in love with you? Are you treated with care? Are you treated in a loving manner? Does your spouse act like he or she is in love with you? This approach to answering the question of being in love or not tends to be the litmus test. Most of us judge a person's heart by their actions. Right or wrong, that's what we do. When the actions are in direct conflict with what the person says, suspicion typically follows. Although the above techniques are used on a frequent basis, they are both wrought with a potential for error. Now, ask yourself, when I'm coaching my friends, I help them understand that there is a third and more effective way to find out if your spouse is in love with you. Ask yourself, should my husband be in love with me? In other words, are you giving your spouse a reason to be in love with you? So, it's only you who can answer this question. In order to answer your own question, you must first know what your spouse's most important emotional needs and how does he or she like them to be met. Without knowing the answer to the above question, you are guessing. And what's more, if you don't know the answer, you are probably tainting your guesses with how you like your own needs to be met and what your belief is irritating. Bottom line, you must be successful at developing and maintaining your skills to meet your spouse's need and also demonstrate an ability to protect him or her from yourself. Because it boils down to this, if you're not successful at giving your spouse a reason to be in love with you, then he or she won't be. Do you know, my dear brothers and sisters, that love is the most important word in the English language and the most confusing one? You know, both secular and religious thinkers agree that love plays a central role in life. We are told that love is a many-splendored thing and that love makes the world go around. You see this in thousands of books, songs, magazines, and movies. They are prepared with the word love. The Apostle Paul even said that in the last scene of the human drama, only three characters will remain: faith, hope, and love. But the greatest is this: love. Yet love is the most confusing word. We use it in 1,000 ways. We say, "I love hot dog," or in the next breath, "I love my mother." We speak of loving activities, swimming, skiing, golfing. We love objects, food, cars, and houses. We love animals. We love nature. We love people. We may even love God. Our purpose is not to eliminate all the confusion, but rather to focus on the kind of love that is essential to our emotional health, the need to feel love. I read the book by Gary Chapman, and this is what I'm trying to share with you. It's something this technique is very effective. He said that inside every child is an emotional tank waiting to be filled with love. When a child really feels loved, he will develop normally, but when the love tank is empty, the child will be misbehaved. Their misbehavior was a misguided search for the love they did not feel. They were seeking love in all the wrong places, in all the wrong ways. I realized that many of their parents were suffering from an empty love tank as well. And much of the misbehavior of married individuals was growing out of an empty love tank. The need to feel loved by one's spouse is at the heart of marital desires. A man once said, "What good is the house, the cars, the place at the beach, or any of the rest of it if your wife doesn't love you?" So goes with the other way around. Do you understand what he was really saying? More than anything, he loves to be loved by his wife. Material things are no replacement for human emotional love. I believe this need can be met in any marriage if each of them will discover the primary love language of their spouse and speak it regularly. There are only 5 love languages. Your spouse desperately craves one of them. Make it your goal to discover it and speak it, and their love tank will be full. This is what I'm going to share with you next time. The 5 love languages. It's very effective, and I know God really wants marriage to meet their deepest need for intimacy and love. Yet this emotional love often seems elusive. So, until next lovely day, this is your host, Sister Aunt Ronas. Thank you for listening. God bless us all.